If you're a green card holder, stop scrolling, because what I'm about to share could affect your freedom to travel in and out of the United States. A new set of U.S. immigration and border policies has just come into effect, and they are not optional. These rules are already impacting thousands of permanent residents, and if you're not aware of them, you could be stopped at the border, or worse, risk losing your permanent resident status altogether. So, what exactly is going on? Starting this month, stricter enforcement is being applied at entry points for green card holders, especially for those who have been traveling frequently or staying abroad for extended periods. Immigration officers are now trained to scrutinize your re-entry patterns, your ties to the U.S., and even your intent to reside permanently. If you fail to meet these new criteria, you could be flagged, interrogated, or even referred to immigration court. And don't think this only applies to long absences. Even short trips abroad could now trigger red flags if you don't meet the updated guidelines. These rules include updated documentation requirements, proof of ongoing U.S. residence, and in some cases, even tax and employment history may be examined. Now imagine this. You've built your life in the U.S., maybe even raised a family here, and all of that could be jeopardized simply because of one misstep at the border. Sounds extreme? That's because it is, and it's happening right now. In today's video, I'm going to break down everything you need to know, what's changed, who's at risk, and how you can protect your status and your future. So if you're a green card holder or know someone who is, don't skip this video. Smash that like button so more people can be alerted to this urgent update, and let's dive right in. So, let's get right into it. What are these new rules that have so many green card holders worried, and why is this happening now? The truth is, while the U.S. immigration system has always had certain travel expectations for lawful permanent residents, what's happening now is a noticeable shift in how strictly those rules are being enforced, and in some cases, even reinterpreted. This isn't just about policy. It's about how those policies are now being used at ports of entry to assess whether a green card holder still qualifies to be a U.S. permanent resident. For years, many people have traveled in and out of the U.S. without issue, even with extended stays abroad. But now, that flexibility is being narrowed dramatically, and it's creating a chilling effect. Customs and Border Protection officers have reportedly been given enhanced screening protocols. That means when you land in the U.S., even after a 2-week vacation, you might be asked for additional proof that you still maintain strong ties to the country. If your trips are frequent, long, or undocumented, officers may begin to question your intent to reside, a phrase that's become central in this new interpretation of green card eligibility. Intent to reside doesn't just mean owning property or having family here. It can involve your job, tax records, mailing address, driver's license, financial accounts, essentially anything that proves the U.S. is your primary and permanent home. And if they suspect your primary residence is elsewhere, that's when the problems start. Now imagine you've been out of the country for a few months to take care of a sick parent or attend to a family emergency. That's entirely understandable, right? But under these new rules, extended absences are being flagged. And get this, it's not just the total amount of time you've spent outside the U.S., but also the pattern of your travel. For example, someone who takes frequent 1-month trips could be seen as more suspicious than someone who stayed abroad 6 months straight once in 10 years. It's not black and white anymore, it's all about interpretation, and that's exactly what makes this so risky. Because interpretation varies depending on the immigration officer you meet at the border. Another huge issue is documentation. Under the new guidance, travelers may be asked to show physical proof of their U.S. life. We're talking lease agreements, utility bills, U.S. employment letters, tax returns, school enrollment records for children, anything that proves you are rooted here. Without this proof, even a routine trip could spiral into secondary inspection, hours of questioning, and potentially a notice to appear in immigration court. Yes, it's that serious. Some travelers have even reported having their green cards marked or annotated after re-entry interviews, essentially putting them on a watch list for the next time they travel. Now, let's talk about reentry permits. A lot of people think that having a reentry permit means they're safe from scrutiny, but even that isn't foolproof anymore. A reentry permit does allow you to stay outside the U.S. for up to 2 years without automatically abandoning your residency, but it doesn't guarantee reentry. Officers still have discretion, especially now. If they suspect the permit is being used to justify a permanent move abroad while maintaining the benefits of U.S. residency, they can still initiate proceedings to revoke your status. And that's not just theory, it's happened. There have been multiple reported cases in recent months of permanent residents being denied reentry or flagged for review, even with valid reentry permits. There's also growing concern among those who are in the process of naturalization. If you're applying for U.S. citizenship, travel becomes even more sensitive. That's because to qualify, you must show continuous residence and physical presence in the U.S., among other requirements. Travel that breaks your continuous residence, say a 6-month absence, can restart your clock and delay your citizenship application. In extreme cases, it can even be interpreted as a sign that you never intended to make the U.S. your permanent home, which could jeopardize not just your citizenship application, but your green card status as well. And let's not forget about taxes. Yes, the IRS is now part of the conversation. There's increasing cooperation between immigration enforcement and the Internal Revenue Service. That means your tax records could be reviewed as part of your travel scrutiny. If you're not filing U.S. taxes as a resident, or you're declaring residency elsewhere for tax purposes, that could be used as evidence against your intent to reside in the U.S. It's a complex web, and many people are caught in it without even realizing it. For parents who have children studying abroad, this is particularly painful. They want to be able to visit, help them settle, maybe even stay a few months. But every additional week abroad feels risky. Some are now rethinking their travel plans entirely. Others are consulting immigration attorneys before booking a plane ticket. This is how serious it's become. And it's not paranoia, it's precaution. No one wants to return from a trip and find themselves sitting across from a CBP officer questioning their life decisions. The emotional toll of this cannot be understated. We're talking about individuals who have contributed to the American economy, paid taxes, raised families here, and built careers. And yet now, they're being told that any hint of a life outside U.S. borders could be grounds for suspicion. The result is a deep sense of insecurity, especially among older green card holders or those from immigrant communities who've always felt like they needed to prove their loyalty to stay. It's creating a division. Those who can afford to travel freely with confidence, and those who now feel like hostages in their own immigration status. If you've been abroad for over 6 months or are planning to, you need to think ahead. You should consult with an immigration attorney to determine if a reentry permit is right for you, and how to frame your travel plans in a way that demonstrates continued intent to reside in the U.S. if you're applying for citizenship. Now's the time to review your travel history carefully, because even innocent mistakes, like taking a trip right before your naturalization interview, could delay or derail your application. So, as we wrap up this video, here's the bottom line. If you're a green card holder, your travel freedom is no longer something to take for granted. The rules may not have changed in the headlines, but they've changed in practice. Immigration enforcement is tightening, interpretation is shifting, and the burden of proof is now heavier than ever. Staying informed, staying prepared, and staying connected to your life in the U.S. are no longer suggestions, they are requirements. And if you found this video helpful, or if you know someone who needs to hear this, please share it with them. This information could save someone from an unexpected nightmare at the border. Drop your questions in the comments, and I'll try to cover them in a future video. And one more thing, smash that like button, subscribe for weekly immigration updates, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a critical alert. In these uncertain times, being informed is your best protection. Thank you for watching, and stay safe wherever your travels take you.